You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Is your pet stressed out? Does your pet need annual vaccines? Which pet is best for a child? Would you know if your dog was in pain? Pet Life Radio presents The Pet Doctor, where you'll learn everything about keeping your pet healthy and happy. From pet care, pet meds and grooming, to pet food, pet insurance, and dental care, this is the place to find out everything there is to know about pet wellness. Whether you have a dog, cat, reptile, or rabbit, you'll find answers for your pets straight from the vets, because it's your pet. Health matters. Please welcome your Pet Doctor host, veterinary media consultant and veterinarian, Dr. Bernadine Cruz.
For the last 2 weeks, the Pet Doctor Podcast have been a series of interviews from the AKC Eukanuba Dog Show, held in Long Beach, California in early December of 2009. I learned about some very distinctive breeds. Dogs can also do so much more than keep us company. They can also be another set of eyes, ears, and serve as an enforcement aid for police departments. They can also assist disabled persons with daily chores that we may just take for granted. Sometimes the disabled one is the dog, such as retired military canines, that need our help. And don't think that trotting around with a dog at a show like this is only a beauty contest. I'll speak with a junior handler who told me how working with her dog has helped raise her personal level of confidence and improve her grades at school.
Please have a seat in the waiting room. The doctor will be with you shortly, right after these messages.
Be sure to tune in when Pet Life Radio goes live from Global Pet Expo, the world's largest annual pet products trade show. March 25th through the 27th, you can catch all the new products coming out for our pets before they even hit store shelves. From the latest in all-natural and eco-friendly products to the most elegant in pet pampering and high-tech innovations from companies all over the globe. It's at Global Pet Expo. Nearly 800 companies will be displaying new and exciting products to make time with our pets even better. Tune in March 25th through the 27th for everything Global Pet Expo.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Silvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
Hello! I'm Deborah Wolf, and I'm inviting you to my animal party on Pet Life Radio. My pet experts will be coming to the party to answer your pet questions, and they'll also be sharing their favorite stories and messages with us, but I'll be asking them some tough questions. We'll get their opinions on the hot-button topics like the pit bull ban, pet food, vaccines, religion, politics, and animals, cat decline, and the latest news. Whatever's turning the animal world on its head, we'll be talking about at the animal party. This party's got bite.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Welcome back to the Pet Doctor on Pet Life Radio with Dr. Bernadine Cruz. The doctor is in, and we'll see you now.
As I'm walking around right now, this is a breed that I know very little about, Anatolian Shepherds. Yes. And you're saying that it's an ancient breed of dogs. And right now I'm speaking to Leslie Wool. Yes, thank you. So tell me about the breed.
Okay, it's from the Anatolian Peninsula of Turkey, and they're livestock guardian dogs.
So this is a large dog. Describe it for those that are listening right now.
Okay, this is a male who weighs 125 pounds and is brindle, which is rare. The orange brindle is even rarer. That bitch is 22 months old.
And you're not saying a bad word. That is just a female dog.
I'm sorry.
It's not a bad word.
She's explaining to... No, it's my dog. I mean, it's my little bitch.
You can call it a bitch if you want to. Yes.
And she is, but we both are.
That's all right. We understand.
And she's 22 months. She'll be 2 in February.
All right. And this is a lighter one.
Yeah. No, this is not the one that's in there. That one's the lightest.
All right.
This one is
And Carol. How old is it? This is a little girl?
She's 10 months old. She'll be 11 in 2 days.
All right. Happy birthday in 2 days.
So they're babies. This one's a mature one.
So these are herding dogs?
No.
Guard dogs.
Livestock guardians. They're smarter than that.
All right.
Yeah.
And if you throw a frisbee, you better be awfully fast on your feet. And the best they'll do for you is applaud.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes he'll go and pick one up, but not generally.
Yeah, but they don't bring it back.
They don't move stock. They guard it. They patrol.
So this would be a good family dog, guarding the children, making sure that no one comes in.
They're also used in Africa for the cheetah conservation program.
Tell me about that.
You should know about dogs.
All right.
This is not a dog for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it should not be a child's first dog.
Yeah, they're very independent. They're self-thinkers. But in Africa, the cheetahs were coming into the villagers and taking out their goats, their livestock. So they, in turn, would hunt the cheetah. Cheetah population was declining. So they figured, what is it we can do? So they looked at all the livestock guardians, the Great Pyrenees, the Commodores, the Anatolians, and they decided on the Anatolians. So we sent a couple over there as a pilot program to see how they would do, and it's been a win-win situation. The cheetahs are staying away, their numbers are coming up, the villagers are happy, their goats aren't being attacked and stuff. So now we have a regular thing going where we send over the semen, they have a little breeding program going, so it's a win-win situation.
It was a great idea. Who came up with it?
I forgot the name of the lady. But it's through the cheetah conservation, thank you. I have problems with that word.
So this is a wonderful, non-aggressive way of solving a problem.
Yeah.
No arms. Very good.
These guys can be dog aggressive, so be aware of that.
Right now, and these dogs are being absolutely wonderful. Dogs are walking back and forth. So he's well socialized.
Socialization is the key with these guys. 11 to 13 years old is their lifespan, considering they're large breed dogs. They don't eat a whole lot. They're low maintenance.
Now, you said they did have a medical sensitivity issue, sensitive to anesthetics.
Yes.
All right. Any other medical issues that they have?
As with any large dog, occasionally hip dysplasia.
But it's not prominent.
But it's not prominent.
I might have heard of one or two that have the entropion. That
curling in the eyelids, all right.
But other than that, they're extremely hardy. They do well in cold weather, and they do okay in hot weather.
But they were culled in Turkey because the farmers can't afford a non-aggressive dog. So you get sent out, and if you come back blooded, you get a spike collar. Or else you don't come back. Gee, that's a shame. We'll send the next one out.
Yeah, in Turkey they actually wear the spike collars to give them an edge when they go against, whatever predators they have out there, wolves, bears.
To protect their neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're treated a little differently in this country. In Turkey, they don't sleep on heated water beds.
They send them out there for months at a time with the livestock. They're a very more aggressive breed in Turkey than they are here.
And so they're in charge. The human shepherds go home because it's really cold in Turkey in the wintertime and snowy.
So this is their job. So they don't look like they have a heavy coat, but the coat that they have...
They have a double coat, so they do fine. I mean, my guys prefer the cold over the heat. Ring. All my other dogs scatter inside the doghouse. These guys are just out there walking in the ring. Doesn't faze them. They love it. Low maintenance, wash and wear type dog. They shed twice a year.
Seriously shed twice a year.
And I love the fact you're saying this is not a good first dog.
It is not.
No.
They're very independent. They don't come when you call them.
And they don't
gonna be
do
on
obedience.
Yeah, that was my next thing is good luck trying to obedience train them.
But they are trainable.
They are to a point. I've taken mine into obedience. I have not been able to get a title on him. My male that I took is dog aggressive, so which makes it even harder to train.
We have one member of the club, this is for the whole United States, who has 3 obedience titles. They're Anatolian. That's one Anatolian in the United States.
About how many dogs are in the United States, give or take, that you know of?
There's a couple thousand, 5,000?
About 450, I'd say.
Somewhere around there.
You have to understand that
they're a little hard to train,
rare.
yes.
Yeah.
You have to understand that, I mean, there are, 30,000 Labrador Retrievers born every month.
Yeah.
And we have 5,000 dogs all over the United States.
They're very agile. I have agility trained my male. He's a great jumper. I just can't trust him 100% off lead. So, not to say it can't be done, it can be done, but you got your work cut out.
We all have our pros and cons, strong points, weak points. Well, thank you very much, ladies. I really appreciate the Anatolian Shepherd. Thank you. All right, so I'm here right now with Jennifer Roberts with Dog de Bordeaux, and this is a gorgeous, very big breed. So, since we're radio, describe what your dog looks like. How much does it weigh? What's the standard for the breed?
Okay, well, the other name for them is they're the French Mastiff.
All right.
So they're from the Mastiff family, originally from France. They're supposed to be the Mastiff with the most bulldog characteristics.
And the bulldog characteristics being?
Wrinkle, pushed-in face.
Okay.
Stockier.
Slobbery?
Yes.
Very slobbery.
Yeah.
So you have to love a dog that's going to slobber and get it all over the places.
Yeah.
Okay.
Learn to carry a towel.
Okay. How much weight do they typically carry, your female or the male?
Females are typically 100 to 120 pounds.
Okay.
Males, 110 to 150 average.
So get ready to buy some dog food.
Correct.
Okay. So besides slobbering, what other issues do you have to know that you're going to be contending with when you have a Dog de Bordeaux?
Well, with any large breed, could be bloat.
So stomachs getting too much gas, and getting a bloated stomach, torsion flipping on itself. Hips and elbows.
Orthopedic issues, hips, elbows, shoulders.
What were they originally bred for?
They were originally bred for guarding, hunting, and fighting.
Okay.
And they're one of the oldest French breeds. And they've only been recognized by the AKC for a year and a half.
All right, so fairly new.
Yeah.
So being that they were bred originally as fighting dogs, are they good around children or pets? Is it a matter of socialization?
Yeah, if they're raised with children, they're good with children.
Okay.
Same thing with other animals, but they do have to be well socialized and obedience trained as puppies.
So I'm looking at, is this a male over here?
Yes, this is Hugo.
Hugo has just the most charming wrinkled face. Botox is not going to work on this dog. Are they prone to having skin issues since they have so many wrinkles?
Not so much in the wrinkles, but they can have other issues, allergies, immune problems, Demodex, things like that.
Would you recommend a large, if somebody's looking for a large breed of dog, is this a good one to go with? Or do you have to have, work your way up to a Dog de Bordeaux?
I would not say it's a good dog for the first-time dog owner, because they can be strong-willed and can be dog aggressive, and so you have to know how to handle a big dog first.
Know what you're doing.
Right.
I think so many problems with large breed of dogs that people see them, they think they're gorgeous, and don't do their homework before they get them.
Right. But they are very sweet, very lovable, very family-oriented. They're good all-around dogs. They just get big fast.
They get big fast. Are they prone to having weight issues? It seems like a dog that's as big, people want them to be bigger and bigger and keep feeding too much.
Not necessarily, because they grow.
So if you had to categorize the Dog de Bordeaux, one sentence, what do you need to know about them? 2 sentences.
We will be there this year with them.
Why did you get into them?
Are they from France? They're they're very family oriented, and I mean they want it. If you go from room to room within your house, they follow you.
The Velcro dog again.
Right.
All right.
They're very comical, sweet, loving, very protective too. They're good not guard dogs, but to protect your home.
Well, that would be protecting home. I see behind you a poster board. Looks like they're doing agility work. So I have a feeling most people don't think of a dog this large doing agility. So they can do weave poles.
Yeah, some of them can.
You kind of get caught going through there.
Competing. It's a national championship down the street.
And therapy dog also?
Yeah, therapy dog. Obedience. They can do all sorts of things. Because they are in the working group, so they can do really things.
They earn their dog food.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Canine Companions for Independence. What is their function?
So they provide exceptional dogs for exceptional people is their motto, exceptional dogs for exceptional people. And they provide service dogs for people with disabilities other than blindness. Okay. So it's primarily people in wheelchairs, and it could be anything from an accident, spinal cord injury type thing, like multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy, that kind of thing. They also provide hearing dogs for hearing impaired, and they'll alert them to various sounds. They can teach them to alert to like a child crying, the phone ringing, smoke alarm, doorbell, all that kind of stuff. And they also.
I think I've also seen these CCI dogs with people in wheelchairs, for instance.
Yes.
Helping them open doors and hit the buttons for elevators and stuff.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and that is called would be in the service dog category. I actually had one dog graduate in that category, and the man has multiple sclerosis. He's in a wheelchair, so that's exactly what he does for him. He opens doors, he turns lights off and on, he retrieves anything. It's amazing what they can retrieve. He can drop something as small as a business card, and Kaylin can pick it up for him. They have a command to pick it up, and then to bring it to him, and then to hold it until Ron's ready for it, and then to give it. So they'll pick up car keys, cell phones, business card, a quarter, whatever the person needs picked up.
And not slobber on it and swallow it.
Yeah, not swallow it. That's a good point. Not slobber or swallow. The other thing they do that's really useful is when they're out in public, they can actually do transactions at a cash register for them. They can hand the credit card or the money to the cashier and then take the bag and put it in the person's lap that's in the wheelchair.
Now, Teresa, you're a puppy raiser. What do puppy raisers do?
We teach what they call the foundation command. So we do have the puppies for close to a year and a half, and we're required to go to class every other week. And we teach basic obedience, but we also teach foundation commands for the more advanced skills. Like, for example, we teach a command called up, where they put just their front paws on the counter, and when they get in advanced training, they add to that and teach them to do the, take and give the money in the bag. They also use the up command. We teach them to do an up against a wall and just hold it there, and later on they turn that into turning the light switch off and on with their paw and their nose.
So you got Duchess when she was just a baby. Now Duchess is a Labrador.
She's actually 3/4 Labrador, 1/4 Golden Retriever.
Cute combination.
Yeah.
So you have these babies, you have to go through all the trials and tribulations and traumas of getting them housebroken and socialized. How long do you keep Duchess?
About 16 to 18 months. 16 to 18 months. And socialization is also key. Besides the training that we do, we expose them to as many environments and different people and different experiences as possible. Everything from travel to going to work on a regular daily basis.
Does she go to work with you?
She does.
Oh.
She does.
So here she is at this AKC Eukanuba Dog Championship. What's it doing to her little mind? Is she handling this well? All the people going by, all the dogs?
Yeah, she's doing okay. She's a little distracted compared to her normal temperament, but with all this going on for her age, I think she's doing really well.
Now, isn't it difficult after you've gone through this, you've trained her, this is your baby, you've raised her, and now you have to give her away?
Yeah, there are always tears. I mean, I almost start to cry thinking about it, and it's a year away from me yet with her, but there's always tears, but it's so rewarding when you see how these dogs change the lives of the people that receive them. They are miracles. They really are. We call them CCI miracles, and it's true. And I go to every graduation. We have graduations quarterly, so there's 4 times a year, and I go to every graduation, and that helps keep me focused on why I'm doing this. And then also I get another puppy right away.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So how many times have you done this?
She's number 5.
Number 5. And if someone was interested in becoming a puppy raiser, what do they have to do?
The best thing is to go to our website, which is cci.org, and they can read all about puppy raising and other volunteer opportunities. As far as puppy raising, they'll start out by filling out an application, and then they'll get a telephone call and be interviewed on the telephone. And then if they make it through that stage, they'll have what we call a site visit, where someone will come to their home and visit them at home and get, share more information about what's going to be required of them, and also check out their home environment and, the living situation, and make sure it's a good fit to be a puppy raiser. So lots of volunteer opportunities in addition to puppy raising. That is a pretty big commitment and a full-time job, but there's lots of other opportunities to volunteer as well. And also anyone interested in receiving a dog, they can also find out at our website about how to apply to receive a dog. And no charge for the recipients if they qualify to receive a dog. The wait list is a little long, maybe about 2.5, 3 years wait to receive a dog.
The miracle that you received,
but it's worth
the wait.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Teresa Barnes of Canine Companions for Independence, thank you very much.
Thank you. Really nice to meet you.
Dogs can be the good guys and lend a helping paw, as we heard from Canine Companion for Independence puppy raiser Teresa. Dogs can also bring down the bad guys, as we'll hear from one of Sacramento, California's finest, Sergeant Acevedo, and his partner Blitz. Need some advice on how to train your puppy to become a Hollywood star, or just come when called? Stay tuned.
Please have a seat in the waiting room. The doctor will be with you shortly, right after these messages.
This valuable information comes from your pet. There's nothing like a wagging tail or friendly paw to lift your mood. They're therapeutic and make us feel good. Studies show pets even reduce stress, prevent heart disease, lower blood pressure, and fight depression. So there you have it. Pets are a daily dose of good health and happiness. Pets add life. To learn more, visit petsaddlife.org.
Greetings, humans. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at petplanetmagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
How many pets is too many? Do you know somebody whose life is overwhelmed by their animals? Maybe we can help. We're looking for people to be in a new TV series about really large animal families. We can offer expert help, free resources, and the chance to tell their story. If you or someone you know owns a house full of animals, call us toll-free at 1-877-MY-8-PETS. That's 1-877-MY-8-PETS.
Aquariums and pond keeping are among the most popular of all hobbies in the United States and throughout the world. In fact, fish are probably the most numerous pet in people's homes and in their businesses. In Aquarium Mania, we'll learn more about the secret and not so secret life of fish and other inhabitants, the basics of good aquarium keeping, the complexities of the aquarium industry, and the science and art that surround this fascinating hobby. I'm your host, Roy Anong, and I'd like to thank you for joining us. Aquarium Mania.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. Welcome back to the Pet Doctor on Pet Life Radio with Dr. Bernadine Cruz. The doctor is in, and we'll see you now.
We're all officers, line level officers, but we're just in the police canine unit, and we're just considered canine handlers.
How'd you get into this?
Some people join the department they want to ride a motorcycle and hand out tickets all day. Others want to, they want to be SWAT team members. I got into doing police work because I wanted to train a dog and I wanted to handle a dog. And as soon as I got into the department and got through the basics and was very comfortable with what I was doing, I immediately started working with our canine unit. I worked with them for about five years, taking bites and being their little pincushion and their go boy and their gopher boy and all that kind of stuff like that. It's kind of a rite of passage in our department. And then eventually, after 5 years of testing and three attempts, so I finally learned enough to where I could get into the unit and handle a dog. It's worked out great so far.
So it must have been rather scary for you initially. I've seen some of the bite suits, but I've seen also the dogs coming at the people in the bite suits.
Yes. It's always scary. The first time I ever took a bite from a dog, very well respected handler, is no longer in the unit now, he's now promoted, but I was hiding in a refrigerator in a convenience store, and I was scared to death. And and I just had to really put my faith and my trust into that officer to call the dog off. Well, to know that he knew the situation and the environment and what was about to happen, to know that I wasn't going to get injured in any way. So I trusted him, and I do trust him, and I took my first bite and ever since then. It's kind of addictive. You become an officer for a reason. You like that adrenaline rush. Mm-hmm. That's why I always tell anybody that if you're not into this business for the exciting things that we get to do, you're probably in the wrong line of work.
So tell me about Blitz. What type of dog?
He's a purebred German Shepherd. He's your standard black and tan. He's just a little more black than tan. We get most of our dogs from Europe, from vendors around California, but they come from Europe initially. He was born and bred from the exotic land of Santa Cruz, so he's one of the only local dogs. He's 6.5 years old. He's been with me for about 3 years. We get our dogs between about 18 months and 3 years old to start their training, to get them out on the street. He was on the older side, but the price was right, because we're not picky about, we don't need titles, we don't need prior training. We actually prefer as little training as possible, because we don't want to train out bad habits. What we want to do is we want to start with a blank canvas and train them the way that we want to train them. And he was that dog, and he was a little bit on the older side, but he is extremely energetic. This is as calm as you'll ever see him. He's just kind of in his element right now. He's calm and checking things out, but he's always on patrol. He's always looking.
I think most people would think that a police dog would be one that you'd need to be fearful around. It's not going to be good around children. And just before we started doing this interview, a young girl came up and she asked, which was great, can I pet the dog? Sure. And Blitz was just wonderful, just family dog.
All of our dogs are family dogs, and we're extremely selective with what dog we choose to work with. For our last 4 or 5 dogs, I think we've gone through about 300 or so that we've looked at, and the first thing that we look at is how social are they. That's the very first thing that we look at. If we can't go into a kennel, pull them out, and start running them through our tests and petting them and putting our hands all over them, we just move on to the next dog. It doesn't mean that dog may not make a very good police dog somewhere else. It's just not a dog for us. In fact, we did have one dog where only the handler could touch him. The unfortunate part was very attractive, very cute dog, and he'd look at you with these little puppy eyes, and then when you went to pet him, he'd go after you. So he never made it out of training. We returned him. And what we find is there's a little bit of a difference between the Southern California police canine training methodology and philosophy, as opposed to what we do up in Sacramento in the northern part. Our philosophy is, if you choose the right dog from the beginning, you can have it all. You don't have to have a single-purpose dog that does only one thing. If that's what you want, that's what you need. Obviously, that's fine. But I can have him be a patrol dog. I can have him sniff out narcotics. He can do evidence searching. He's certified for SWAT. He does track. But I can also take him to a place like this and have kids maul all over him, and he's just going to sit there and love every minute of it. He's a leaner. When you pet him, he likes to rub up against you like a cat. And I frequently. So
you have a lot of lint rollers, for your uniform.
Fortunately, he's not very much of a shedder at all. Thank goodness. That's the other thing I wanted in a dog. But
he's very nice and lean, also.
He's very lean. It's almost like somebody took a regular shepherd and stretched him out a little bit. But because he's nice and long, his energy level and his drive level. He's kind of tired today, but this is about as calm as you'll ever see him. And
how many years do they typically work on the job?
You know what? We don't have a steadfast age limit. We don't get to 7 years old and he's done. It's nothing like that. Typically, they run about 9 or 10 years old. And the bottom line is that's when they start to get a little bit uncomfortable working, because everybody knows that, as far as German Shepherds go, and that's what we have most of German Shepherds. We're not opposed to other breeds. We just happen to have all the ones that we found that we like.
They start becoming seniors.
Yes, they do, and they're all going to have the hip and shoulder issues. And from what I'm told from several veterinarians, on a long enough timeline, every shepherd is going to have that issue.
Every human too.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. So what we do is we work until they're no longer comfortable with it, or to where they start slowing down to where they're no longer effective. We have one dog in our unit that's just turned 10, and it's time to start looking for a replacement. He is our supervisor's dog, so he doesn't get out on the street as much. So that has extended his career. I'm hoping he's going to go at least 9 or 10 years. I'm hoping, and we'll see. But,
excellent.
We started him a little bit later. He'll have a little bit shorter career, but I think it'll be a quality career.
But full retirement benefits, I hope.
Well, what we do is he depreciates 20% a year in the city's eyes, as far as just financial things on the book. 20% a year over 5 years. So after 5 years, after that has expired, and then he retires, we as handlers have the option to buy them from the city for $1. They do take care of us. And then what we've done is we have our Canine Association, the Sacramento Police Canine Association. We have that in place, and we get donations, and it's a nonprofit organization. We're a 501(c) organization. And what we do is all the retired dogs, we take care of their food, their medical bills. Because we have handlers out there that have moved on to different positions, they've retired their dogs, but they still have their dogs. They take care of their food, their medical, and eventually their burial expenses when they do pass. So we do take care of them.
That is awesome.
It's something we have in place. It's kind of like our dog's retirement fund.
That's great. Well, Officer Acevedo, thank you so much. Do appreciate it. And Blitz, you are gorgeous. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So this is the Morris Animal Foundation booth. And we are going to be talking about the Santa Buddies puppies. And Chris, tell us about the Santa Buddies series that's out right now.
It's the fourth movie in a series that spawned by Air Bud, which then turned into Air Buddies, and then this is the fourth Buddies movie, and just follows the adventures of these 5 siblings in different situations. This is the Legend of Santa Paws, where they are helping people remember the magic of Christmas.
And you're the trainer. One of the trainers?
Yes, Nicole Zuhl is actually the head trainer.
And you are?
I am William Briscoe.
Hi, William.
Yes.
And William, tell us some of the behaviors, we won't call them tricks, some of the behaviors that these pups have had to learn.
Well, basically what they've had to learn is it's like how do you say this? It's more your basic stuff: sit, stay, lie down, come forward, stop, looks, and then it goes into further training, meaning teaching one to go pick something up and bring it to for the scene. It requires them to do little things like cock their head for a little, cute little thing. Ones that their ears go up and go down, using like their paws so that they can give a foot, showing little mannerisms, so to speak, which gives them character.
Now, how old are these puppies when you start working them? Because most people with puppies, if they'll just come to them, they're very impressed. But this is a baby.
They basically, they're little sponges, so to speak, basically. If you teach them in small increments, and what they're taught is they're taught a 4 to 5 week training course before they come to do the project for Disney. And within that, then as we get them to that 4 and 5 weeks of training to start the film, they actually get, that's how you would want them when they finish the film, because they've actually learned the cameras, they learn the people, it's all really
there's a lot of excitement and a lot of activity going on these sets.
Because you have a camera right in front of you, you've got all these people, and you got booms and stuff, you got the actors trying to act, and then you got us trainers, which we use clickers and buzzers, Pavlik law, click, click, buzz, buzz, pay, pay.
And you're feeding. What are you feeding right now?
Right now, this is boiled chicken, and this is so that when it works at an event like this, they don't, you're not filling them up, you don't want them to want to have to do a lot of bathroom breaks. That's done beforehand. And
sorry.
It's very hard. It's resistible. I understand.
And you're very concerned about not having people touch the pups.
Well, yes, because the problem for us is, you know, it's like anything. When they get touched so much, they start getting.
They're susceptible to anything that they may have touched with other animals, and they're really young.
It's so easy to spread disease.
Or if it's not just the disease, it's just like they get tired of being touched. It's like a person. If I just kept touching, bothering, pulling, and tugging, it's the same thing to them. Not that they relate like that, but they start going, this is becoming too much. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be held. So what we do is, hey, So what we do basically, it's just condition, you know, it's building a relationship, and repetition foresees success, you know, within anything that you do, and a lot of it is just.
Sorry, you can't touch.
Sorry, I apologize. Sorry. That's okay. Chris,
it's so hard not to.
Sorry?
What part does the adult dog
That's Santa Paws.
Oh, okay. It's got paws.
So basically it's building a relationship, you know, like anything, and the trust. And so the dogs have to know that, you know, you're teaching them to run downstairs, you know, you teach them to do it properly, you know, so that they don't fumble and fall. Everything is done in increments, you know, to teach them all the little things that the writers have come up with. And that's, you know, basically we're a collaboration. We're all a team, and within that, you know, and the crew, they start to learn that these are actual babies, and that their attention span is only like 10 to 15 seconds, and then you start losing. So then that's where.
And how many babies do you have in a scene sometimes? That must be difficult.
5. Oh yeah, we'll put all 5.
That's hurting
sometimes
cats.
6 or more, you know, because if you have all them, they were all in the scene at the same time. But here's what happens. It's if the director makes it, you know, the director that's his vision and job to try to simplify when he has the 5 characters there, kind of get them in, come stop, and then you cut to like maybe 2 of them, and then you start doing the talking, you know, so then it becomes, it's a lot of work, you know, it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, and again, it's just kind of like what we do, you know, if you have a passion for it.
Now what happens to the baby?
Just trying to get there.
What happens to the babies when they grow up? Are they going to be adopted out?
They get adopted out. They all have homes, and they're, you know, owned by regular folks that, you know.
So these are not dogs that were bred for this particular project.
Not at all.
They're just, you put out the call, you put out the puppy call.
Yep. And in working with the breeders, they have, you know, they'd say, okay, we have a litter. These are all sold. We basically borrow them for a few weeks and return them to a home that.
And you return them trained.
We return them trained.
Whoa.
And also they're, you know, an official Disney dog.
I love that. So now if somebody listening to this says, I have the cutest puppy in the world, they can go. Of course we all do. You can go to some doggy agency and get your dog a job, and it can earn his dog food?
I'm sure there are agencies out there. We work directly with Steve Martin's Working Wildlife.
Nicole Sewell is the head trainer.
And they have a website that Steve Martin's WorkingWildlife.com. And they can get information there.
And how did you get your background as being a trainer?
Born and raised in the industry. My father, yeah, he just retired after 47 years. He actually started all the Wonderful World of Disney, you know, when we were kids.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually was his start.
True Life Adventures.
Yeah, it's going to become the True Life Adventures. Yeah. And it used to be Mutual of Omaha, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But now Chris said they're going to come out with all those old ones back again on Sunday night.
Fantastic.
I know we're putting them out on DVD. I don't know if it's coming out to the network. We're putting the DVDs out, and they'll be Disney's True Life Adventures, which are all animal lovers.
We need something on Sunday night. Bring it back to TV.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping they would do. I mean, I loved watching that, and then Mutual of Omaha, you know, the Wild Kingdom.
So this is Santa Buddies, The Legend of Santa Paws, which is out in theaters right now?
It's on DVD.
On
and
DVD.
Blu-ray.
All right. Very good. See, I need to have the grandchildren for that. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much.
you.
And what's
My
the pup's name?
This is Butterball.
Butterball. You're not a Butterball. You're just a gorgeous baby. Great. Thank you so much.
He was on Santa's naughty list because he ate the Butterball at Thanksgiving.
Ah, that's why. Thank you.
True.
Yes, it does. So we're at Save a Vet. And your name, I'm sorry?
Danny.
Danny.
S-C-H-E-U-R.
E-U-R.
E-R.
E-R.
He can hear me from here. They know that.
Yes, uh-huh.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know. So, and it records everything that I'm writing. I can put it down to the
Danny.
computer. So, saveavet.org. Tell us what it is.
Okay, long version?
Long version.
So, I'm a disabled vet.
Okay.
As a disabled vet, regardless of who you are, if you pushed on my back, I would take a swing at you because it hurts and that's how I defend myself.
I will not touch it.
But you understand?
Yes.
I had a dog save my life twice in Iraq. Deployed canine saves a minimum of 3 to 5 soldiers. That being said, any canine that's deemed a risk or a liability cannot be adopted out for the same reason that you wouldn't want to touch my back. He has a back injury. If you push on his back, he's going to bite.
And you are pointing right now to?
Nero, retired bomb detection from the Navy, served over in Iraq.
German Shepherd.
Shepherd Wolf.
Shepherd Wolf.
Yes.
All right. Since we're on radio.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's say we adopt him to you, and your next door neighbor's kid comes over, jumps the fence, pushes on the dog bites. First thing they're going to do is they're going to look for whoever has the deepest pockets. That's the military. They're going to sue him. The military is going to first of all shut down their program. That's what any good corporation would do. That means all the lives that the dog could save would no longer be there. If they would have done that 2 years ago, I wouldn't be here. I had my life saved by a dog. So they do the most logical thing, which I do agree with. They put down the dogs that are a risk or liability that cannot be adopted out.
How did you get Nero since he's a disabled vet?
I had a dog save my life twice. We tried to save him and we were unsuccessful. So then we started this. We found a couple loopholes in the system. If we could provide secure facilities to train personnel, they will give us the dogs. Soon, probably about 3 to 5 years out, we'll be getting Department of Defense funding to do it. What we do is we take the dogs, we put them on secured facilities. They never leave. Nero's not here right now.
Okay, I don't see him.
We hire disabled vets to come to our facilities to take care of them. Anybody who's a military law enforcement vet comes with a security clearance. Anybody with a security clearance can be trained to take care of our dogs. They have the clearance.
Excellent. I'm sure that helps them.
It helps
so
them
it, a win-win situation.
Before we got Nero, when I got back, I lived in the bottle. I went to like 92 grand in booze in 1 year. I was deployed so many times, I didn't know what else I was going to do. And then they called us up and we got Nero. And because of him, I had to wake up at 7 in the morning. He wouldn't shut up if I didn't. Actually, Nero wasn't our first. Dexter was, and then Alan. Alan would wake me up every morning at 7. And he wanted to play for an hour before he went out. And at noon, he wanted to play some more. And at 4, he wanted to play some more. And he wouldn't eat until he played.
Nobody needs an AA if you have a dog like that.
Exactly. It gave me something to do. I mean, honestly, I don't have time to drink. If I want to go and have a drink with my friends, it's once every couple of weeks. I just don't have the time. And our dogs are so well trained. We have some of them that, other than shitting on the floor and eating, they could take care of themselves. That means I could take a vet that's in a wheelchair and give him a purpose again. And when the DOD funding comes in, I'll be able to give him a place to live, full private insurance, and sell him, taking care of other vets. If this was a good year for us, then next year you'd be here talking to a vet who's being paid fees.
So how are you getting your funding right now?
Everything's donations right now. We're looking for sponsorships, corporate sponsorships, American companies. We're real particular about that. Obviously we're a nonprofit, we'll take funding from anybody, but we will not take a sponsorship unless they're American owned. We need land. Land's a big thing. In order to get Department of Defense funding, we have to have a fully operational facility. As you can imagine, millions of dollars. Land's a big thing. If we have land,
how about some of these old military bases that are being retired?
We're backed by Congress in Chicago. We have governors and senators, yet none of them can seem to help us out. Who do you talk to? We've been trying to get a hold of IMS for 2 years. All reality, you going over there talking to somebody, they're probably going to listen to us now. I can only imagine how many phone calls they get a day. It's the same thing with the military. How many nonprofits call them and say, hey, I want this for that, or I want this for that. It's just getting a hold of the right person. So we need a lot of volunteers other than funding. We need attorneys. We need a tax attorney big right now, if you know of any.
Where are you based?
Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois.
We need an accountant that's willing to work with a bunch of not so good numbered Marines and teach us how to do things right. We're reading books and we're doing it, but we know there's better and easier ways to do it.
How many dogs do you have right now?
We only have 6 left. We just lost 3. We max out at 9. We don't have the funding or the manpower to take care of more.
So does Nero, the dog that's not here right now, does he normally, so he lives with you?
Actually, I live with him. The place that he lives, we have a 5-year lease for $1 a year. It belongs to the organization. If I leave the organization, I'll be booted. It belongs to him as long as he's alive. When he passes, it'll belong to another dog. I'm a guest in his house.
I like that. I'm sure Nero likes it too.
Actually, he does, because when he makes a mistake or doesn't want to go outside, we just clean it up. It's his house.
Okay. So right now you're here at the AKC Eukanuba Dog Championship, and you have various products to be sold.
This covers the brochures, the travel. It costs us $800 for fuel to get out here. It normally would have cost us $1,600, but somebody lets us borrow one of their vehicles, so we didn't have to drive our truck.
So if somebody goes to saveavet.org, they can purchase these things online?
Yes. And we also have lists of items that we need. The website will be changing dramatically in the next 5 months. We have a tactical college rebuilding it for us as their school project.
Excellent.
So when it's up and running, they'll be more interactive. There'll be letters from deployed canine units of stuff they need. Right now, when they send us letters, we just type it up, put it on the website, but you'll be able to actually interact with deployed units and work with them, send them stuff directly.
And if I remember correctly, in Vietnam, when the dogs were there at the end of the engagement, those dogs didn't come home at all.
They brought, I think, 147 of them home. I think that was it. Yeah, 98% of them got left or put down or handed over to the Vietnamese.
What's the percentage of the dogs now that are being deployed?
99% of the dogs that are deployed come home. Just over 90% of them do not get adopted out. They do bring them all home now, which the majority of them are home now, which is nice. But for liability reasons, like I said earlier, they just can't adopt them out. And I don't blame them. They adopt out more than they should.
What are the typical injuries that these dogs have?
PTSD is big with dogs. Most of the dogs are bomb detection, so when they get injured, it's with an explosive. A lot of them get injured, back problems. They're starting to gear off the Shepherds and go towards more the Belgian Malinois and Ridgebacks. Shepherds have bad hips, they have cataracts, things like that. So we're getting a lot more of those now. You name it, the dog's suffering. Heat exhaustion is horrible for anything with fur.
I can imagine.
And once you have heat stroke once, it can happen again. It can happen in the cold. It's very easy. Dehydration's a big thing. You name it, these dogs had it. Rashes that we get, it's tenfold with them.
Now, here you have people just going in and petting Nero, so I gather he's really a very nice dog.
He's a very friendly dog. He was trained in bomb detection, no aggression whatsoever. Because of his back injury, he's a liability. Like I said, we're not supposed to take him off the facility.
I didn't see him.
Yes.
Right.
But he is so friendly, and I'm his handler. He likes to travel, so I brought him with.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate this, Danny, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
So if anyone who's listening right now who really is trying to help the military out, in this respect, it's going to be a retired military dog. SaveAvet.org is where they can go to learn more information.
Thank you very much.
So, Grace Freeman, how did you get into being a junior handler?
Well, I've been in 4-H, and I've been, doing really good. I got best junior at the state fair for 2 years in a row. So
as being a junior handler?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to do more. So
how did you learn to become a handler? I mean, what's involved in doing it?
You have to, really have focus, and you have to just be confident and just keep going.
But how did you learn how to do it? What does your dog need to do in the show ring?
Just to pay attention to you and just know what you need to do.
Like stacking a dog, for instance, the way they have to stand.
Yeah. And a lot of training has to go into that too.
Now, you're using your own dog?
Well, my brother's dog.
Your brother's dog. And what kind of dog is it?
It's a golden retriever.
Golden retriever. And was it hard to get the dog to learn how to stack?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing? I just want to go out and play.
Yeah.
How old is your dog? Your
2.
brother's dog?
2.
And girl, boy?
Girl.
Girl. And what's her name?
Hope.
Hope. So Hope is a dog that you use all the time. Yeah. So does it have to be a purebred dog when you're competing?
Yes, because the judge is also judging you how well you groom the dog and how well you show it to the standard.
Are you the one, since it's your brother's dog, are you the one that has to feed it and clean it and pick up the poop?
Yeah.
Wait, how come it's your brother's dog? It seems like you're doing all the work.
Yeah, but she needs to rely on me and give me all of her focus so she can do my trust, because he's also doing obedience, but I'm doing more stuff with her because he doesn't really like to go out and show.
All right. This sounds excellent for you to do. What do you think you've learned? How has it helped you in school, for instance, being a junior handler?
Well, you get a lot of scholarships. That's for one thing.
That helps.
Yeah.
I'm sure your parents like that for college.
Yeah. And also, well, you get a lot of friends too, but that doesn't really help you in school.
Well, it's good to be, have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
So has it helped you in your classes, since you have to spend so much time getting the dog to focus on you and you have to be focused on the dog and say, okay, now I have to sit down and do my English lessons?
Yeah.
All right. Now I understand from your mom that you want to make it to Westminster.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to get to that level?
You have to at least get 10 wins. Now with Eukanuba you have to get 5, but you have to also have to get a 3.0 grade average. So you also have to have good grades and get 5 wins, but with Westminster you don't have to get a 3.0 grade average, but you have to get 10 wins, which is kind of hard, really, if you don't really know what you're doing.
But you're learning.
Yeah.
And you've been at it for how long now?
At least 2 years.
2 years. Now I understand at one point in time you actually thought of taking on my type of a job, which is being a veterinarian.
Yeah.
You still think you want to be a veterinarian, or what's your interest at this point?
Well, I really like showing, so I'm trying to look into be like a professional handler, and I also like to be a groomer, so maybe either a groomer or a professional handler, but I really want to be a professional handler.
Well, I don't know of any professional handlers who are veterinarians, but I do know quite a few veterinarians who are breeders and have their dogs shown. So who knows? Maybe you can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Well, Grace Freeman, I really appreciate it. Congratulations on your accomplishments so far. Hope is just a sweetie, and wish you continued success. And I want to watch TV sometime and see you at the Westminster.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sarah, I'm looking at your book, and it just seems really straightforward, understandable of how to have a smart puppy, but so many people, that first year of life is just horrendous. I knew one of us was going to survive my black Labrador eye, and I wasn't sure which one. What do people do wrong with all the best of intentions?
Well, people don't understand that just as when we need to learn something, we practice little pieces of it, and then we try to do the whole thing. When you learn to play softball, they didn't put you in the middle of a game and say learn. They taught you how to catch. They taught you how to swing a bat. They taught you how to play the game. And then they put it all together. With dogs, we need to teach them when they're calm so they can learn and they can think, and then we can use it when they're excited. So if people knew to pre-train just a few minutes a day, they could have so much more success and they'd be much less frustrated that first year.
Positive reinforcement versus, oh, bad dog, bad dog.
I tell people to get to good. Our job as trainers is to get to good as fast as we can. So if they're jumping, I'm going to help them get to sit and to praise that. So I'm very focused on being positive. The negatives I do use are spatial. I'll teach them how to control their dogs using their body and their space, which is very natural for dogs. It's a very easy communication. It doesn't drop their tail. It doesn't upset them, but it still allows the person to have some active control at the same time. So they can pause what they want to happen, and then they can reward it, and it works beautifully.
With puppies, since they like to chew on each other as pups in a litter, now they come home and they're teething and they're chewing. How do you get a puppy not to chew?
Well, you're never going to get a puppy not to chew. What you can hope is to get them not to chew what you don't want them to chew, and that is mainly prevention. That's like, how do you get a 2-year-old not to put a bean up their nose? Well, don't give them a bean.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right? Don't give them a bean. So with a puppy, you're going to litter their environment with things you want them to chew, and one of the old tricks that works great is if you want them to chew something, rub it in your hands, blow on it, make it smell like you, then present it to them, and they're likely to focus on that because they love things that smell like you, which is why they go for remote controls and socks and shoes. So give them something that smells like you, remove the stuff you don't want them to chew, and by the time they're out the other side, they haven't developed the bad habits.
Right now we have all this noise around us, a lot of barking dogs,
yes.
And I know, being a practicing veterinarian, one of the real problems, people living so close to each other these days, oh, the dog is great, but all of a sudden there's a bird outside or a leaf falls down and the dog is barking. How do you get that dog to realize, okay, I'm supposed to be the sentinel, but I'm not supposed to bark at everything?
Well, it's a great question. And one of the things is, first, are the dog's needs being met? Because dogs need activity, they need interaction, they need stimulation, and if we just put them in the backyard to quote-unquote exercise themselves, they get bored and they start doing what interests them, barking at the fence, barking at the leaves. So people have to make sure the dog's needs are being met. Then I'm going to teach them how to turn away from distraction. I do that on lead. It's a little game in our book called Look at Me, and they practice walking toward biscuits, walking towards toys, backing away, and teaching the dog how to look away. Because we think when we tell a dog, no, stop it, that they know how to stop. A lot of the dogs don't know how to stop what they're doing. They stop for a second, look at you, then go right back to it. So we need to teach them how to disengage. And then when you tell them, leave it come, they go, boom, I know how to do that. So anytime a dog is failing in one area, I think, okay, what do they need to know to succeed? I teach them that little piece, and then I practice it again. And I find that to be really effective. So if you're in a situation where you're telling your dog no over and over again, think, wait a minute, what does he not understand here? And what can I teach him that'll help? And that will make you an incredibly successful dog owner.
So probably meeting its needs leads into this next question that I have. All right, so Sarah Wilson, leading into this next question of separation anxiety. That is such a problem because people are working all the time. They want to have that dog, but they don't seem to have the time for it. What can people do to keep a dog from getting separation anxiety? Is there anything?
There are a lot of things to do. There has to be something to do because either we're breeding dogs that are much more prone to it, or something has changed in the way we deal with our dogs that has made them more vulnerable to it. I think it's that. So my thing would be, if you're too busy, you're going to have to find the time, because basically one of the jokes is nobody's got time to train their dog, but they've got time to be angry at it over and over and over again. So take some of that time that you would be frustrated with it and start to practice productively with it. First, I want to make sure it's getting the exercise it needs, and running around the dog park will be great for its body, but it doesn't necessarily exercise their mind. Dogs crave a sensible connection. Giving them everything they want, just like giving a child everything they want, doesn't necessarily mean the child's going to feel secure. So we need to make sure that they know what to do and they have a healthy relationship with us. And one of my big things is to practice with the dog to teach them how to calm themselves, that they get rewarded for calm behavior as opposed to rewarded for crazy behavior. So when I go to the door, the dog sits and looks at me, then I open the door, I'm holding their food bowl, they sit, they look at me, then I feed them. So their whole life becomes calming myself is good. The other game I play...
This is for children.
I would be rich and retired, but I suspect yes. But in any case, the other game I play is developing a safe spot for the dog, and this is just every time I walk by, it's going to be a bed in a good location where I pass frequently. I'm going to leave treats there. Anytime I want to pet the dog, I'm going to take the dog over there, have him lie down, pet him there, encourage him to be there, store maybe something that's scented like me there, like a sweatshirt or something, so that becomes his favorite place to go. So anytime he's feeling insecure, he wants to be with me, he goes to that spot. So there are all kinds of little things you can do to help with this, and it's just, it doesn't take more time, it just takes more awareness.
I love it.
Good.
So, Sarah Wilson, if people needed some more information, where can they go? What can they do to learn these tips? Because you have some great tips.
Thank you. You can come to mysmartpuppy.com. We exist to help pet owners be successful. That's one of our mandates, is to keep dogs in their homes. We are not method-based, we're success-based. So whatever you want to use, whatever piece of equipment, whatever approach, we will help you use it in the most humane and effective way possible. And it's totally free. In our message boards, we have a team of trainers. We have, it's just a lovely community. We're moderated, we're flame-free. We're as positive with the people as we are with the dogs.
Sarah, thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
According to researchers from the National Human Genome Research Institute, part of the National Institutes of Health, the branch of the canine family tree that includes domestic dogs diverged from that of the gray wolf more than 15,000 years ago. Due to selective breeding by humans throughout history, dogs today exhibit an extremely wide range of body types and behaviors. In fact, dogs exhibit the greatest diversity in body size of any mammalian species. Dogs can top out at 120 pounds or be as small as 2. Need a dog that can guard sheep, your home, or that favorite cushion on the couch? Want a dog that's a whiz at sniffing out dog cookies stashed in the bottom of a sack of groceries? Or one that can detect cancer in a person's urine sample? There's a dog for that. Dropped your keys and can't retrieve it from your wheelchair, or need to track down a missing person? there's a dog for that also. When a man, woman, and child's best friend is the dog, but how do you know which breed is best for you and your lifestyle? Where do you find a reputable breeder and the healthiest pet possible? The American Kennel Club and their breeders may hold the answers you need. Go to their website, www.akc.org. I hope you've enjoyed the past 3 weeks of podcast. I learned a great deal and hope you did also. If you have questions about obtaining any pet or the health of that pet, the best person to ask is your primary care veterinarian. You can also send me an email at thepetdoctor@petliferadio.com. Thank you for listening, and thank you to my fabulous producer, Mark Winter, for making these podcasts possible.
Pets can be a wonderful addition to your life. Keeping them healthy and happy is important. Pet Life Radio presents The Pet Doctor with veterinary media consultant and veterinarian Dr. Bernadine Cruz. Whether you have a dog, cat, reptile, or rabbit, you'll find answers for your pets straight from the vets. The Pet Doctor, on demand every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com.